Good morning, everyone. As usual, give me just a couple of minutes to update the event details and share some posts. Make sure that actually posted. It did. Cool. See if I can actually... No. finally over to Twitter. Okay. So, allow me to officially welcome everyone to this month's Extra Life event. We're going to be playing all 3 games that I care about in the Castlevania Advance Collection. Starting with the oldest of the 3, Castlevania Circle of the Moon. Now, each of these each day of this event is going to have its own single milestone and a donation incentive for individual donations. So for any donation of $10 or more, I'll fold an origami bat, just like I did at the last event in April. Because I just like folding bats. Or Circle of the Moon. I'll be able to demonstrate this a little bit more clearly once we're actually in the game, but This game uses a card system for its magic. So depending on the essentially an effect card and an element card, there are a ton of different spells that you can use. I mean, the circling ice blocks on screen there are an example of them. So, in the spirit of that, I have a deck of cards here. And this event's incentive is called the Dual Setup Exercise System. So how it's going to work, I've already shuffled the deck, is I will draw 2 cards. The first card that I draw, which is, in this case, the 7 of Spades, determines the type of exercise I do. So, for Spades, that is crunches. The second card determines the number of reps. So, this is the 2 of diamonds. I only need to do a couple of them. If the cards happened to be the same suit, I would do double the amount of reps. And if the second card is a joker, then I draw another card and double the amount of reps from that card. So theoretically, counting aces as low and kings as high, I could have to do up to 52 reps of whatever exercise I'm doing. That incentive will come up every $25 we raise. So right now we're at $325 for the year to date. If we reach $350, then I'll have to draw a couple cards. I will also be taking a bit longer of a break than usual around lunchtime today. There's a book fair event going on locally that I want to participate in. I want to see what it looks like. I'm a nerd. And one of the main goals with this specific Extra Life event is making things more sustainable and prioritizing my mental health. So, in this case, that means I'm taking a break and doing a thing that I think I'll really enjoy. Just as a forewarning, I am going to stop the stream at that point and we'll get back to it when I get back. It'll probably only be about an hour or 2. So, yeah, just be aware of that. I forgot to get out my origami paper before getting set up. There's that. I'm gonna have to pick up some more plain origami paper in the near future. But for now, let's get started, shall we? So, as you might expect, right, I forgot. The Advanced Collection uses A as back and B, or I think it might just be Circle of the Moon, that has B as confirm and A as back in the menus, and it throws me off every time. So, I have played through this game once before, back in the fall when this collection first came out. For beating the game once, you unlock Magician Mode, which gives you all of the cards from the outset. But I believe that it weakens some of your other attributes. Maybe it's just that I've mapped B and A to switch because I prefer that for controls. But just to make this a slightly different experience for me, and to get full use out of the dual setup system, we're going to play in Magician mode. It is 1830 at an old Austrian castle. From the worshippers of chaos rise the plea for the return of the Lord of Darkness. We crave the presence of the embodiment of suffering, the ruler of darkness. I have waited for this moment, to be awake again, and to bask in darkness and feel the moonlight within. Count Dracula, I am honored to be in your presence. Indeed, though I lack my full power, we are preparing the rite to replenish your power. Stop! You cannot be allowed to taint the world. I remember. You were one of the vampire killers that sealed me. You've aged. It is our duty to see you banished. Amusing. Use my nemesis' life to return to power. I have no use for children. Be gone. Hugh, Nathan, Master, Father. No creatures around here. Hugh, are you okay? Yeah. We were just brushed aside and ignored. We have to find Master. I'll go. He's my father. Nathan, you'll be in the way. Just get out of here. I want to find Master as much as anybody. Okay. Given that we suffer from chronic protagonist syndrome, we will not be following that order to stay put. Oh yeah, let me turn off the gadget for this one. The Advanced Collection... Whoops. The Advanced Collection has some little pop-ups that'll show up if you stand to advance the game's main collectibles. In Circle of the Moon, it shows up if you're fighting an enemy that can drop a card. But we have every card. So we don't need to worry about that. The trick's gonna be actually figuring out what all of them do. So we are gonna have to experiment a little bit. So the Mercury card acts as an enhanced whip attack. Do we have to hit an enemy for it to be registered? Yes. No, we don't. Forgive me for a bit of repetitive pausing. I want to get as many of these registered as possible as soon as possible. That way, we know what we're working with. Like a stone whip on that one, which makes sense because that's a cockatrice card. Poison. Ooh, I like that one. And one of the things that's kind of bonkers about Magician mode is that we start with 400 MP. This mode is very much built around making good use of the dual setup system, which is cool. Ooh. Okay, so now we have details on all of the Mercury cards. Oh, buddy. Let's see. Looks like... yeah, the Venus set... the Venus set increases stats. Depending on what your attribute card is. We don't have a lot of health left. I've been busy playing with cards and not paying attention to my health. Oh yeah, let's show the map, which is not much of a map yet. This is fine. Okay. The Venus cards are a little annoying to try and mark. That's unfortunate. Did we just get kicked back out? Cool. If we don't even... we didn't get to a save room, so we don't have any data. Oh boy. Well, there go those last 10 minutes. Still 1830 if anyone was questioning it. I guess I should prioritize finding a save room. Blah 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 blah. Throw a bat on the floor. Of course. The skeleton bombers seem to resist fire. Which makes sense. I could see the extendo whip being very useful. I do need to try and make sure I take less damage this time, though. Okay, Stone Whip can turn enemies to stone. Probably. Yep, it says that. But that's extremely good to know, because that's a platforming thing that we just start with. Situational for sure, but a situational platforming bonus is better than no platforming bonus at all. Okay, we can hold that one. That's a fun sound effect. Also, yes, it does. You can't get up there yet, which is a common theme for this style of game. Surely, it will eventually restore more than 1 health per attack, right? Right? Okay, for this one we actually need to get hit. Because you don't get the upgrade, or you don't get the information on the stat boosts until that stat comes into play. I think this is... Oh, we didn't have it active. That would be why. Well, here's a save room, so we don't have to do all this again. Save rooms, you'll notice, are marked in red on the map. Okay, there we go. Let's see. Defense increases by map discovery percentage, which is not going to be at all useful right now. What's this one? Is this... Okay, walking gets experience points. That could be useful. There are experience points and levels, as you would expect from an RPG. This style of Castlevania game tends to... no. I'm poisoned. This is one of the only this is one of the only Castlevania games in this style where poison actually works as you'd expect poison to work. where it does damage over time. I know in at least one of the games that we'll be playing later in the weekend. What did that do? Double the amount of hearts, okay. Okay, this one clearly does something while we're jumping. No, it just increases int. Okay. Well, we don't get to know what that one does. And now we're back a bit. We'll figure it out. This is without question the most difficult of the 3 games we'll be playing this weekend. Hey there. Doing pretty well. How are you doing? Okay, I can't get up there yet. So, these games function very differently. Nice, now we have a knife. The knife does very little damage. And sub-weapons like that cost hearts to use, just like the classic Castlevania games. Ooh, that's an antidote, that could be useful. Let's move forward to this one. That one just activates automatically. I think this is the experience points while walking one. Yep. You'll probably notice that I really like the whip spin. It's not a powerful attack, but double the amount of hearts. The whip spin's not a powerful attack, but okay, can't go that way. Okay. We're just gonna pretend that Earth Demon isn't there. And get the dash boots. So now we can double tap to dash. Which is going to make navigating way less painful. Let's just... Okay, no. There's... I want to say Jupiter and Mandragora. Yeah. We're going to be using this combo a lot. Wrong button. Jupiter and Mandragora increase... Well, refill your health when you're standing still. Replaying the Final Fantasy games. I've been playing through some of the Dragon Quest games lately. I picked up Dragon Quest IV on mobile about a year ago and barely played it. I have now finished it, and I am well on my way through Dragon Quest V. I've always tended to enjoy the Dragon Quest games more than Final Fantasy, though I also started playing Final Fantasy VI about a month and a half ago, and I was enjoying that one a lot. Let's just buffer our health situation a little bit. Right now we very much fit the squishy wizard archetype. If we've got the time, we can heal up easily. We recover MP pretty quickly and we have a lot of it. But we don't have a lot of health. So I really don't want to deal with... What does this do? It's doing something when I attack. Okay. It increases defense, but decreases attack. I'm gonna guess Black Dog's probably the opposite. Yep. Okay. Let me pull up the stream on my phone. I highly recommend. Oh shoot. I don't need the actual stream, just the chat. But yeah, I highly recommend the Dragon Quest games. Okay. This does a lot of damage. Okay, and here's the ice block shield that we saw in the demo. And the thing I really like about the Dragon Quest mobile ports, and probably the Final Fantasy ones as well, I just haven't played them. Okay, we need to use an antidote and be very careful. How much health do I have? 5. I will die at a slight breeze. That qualifies as a slight breeze. But you can't hit me down here, so we're good. Anyway, the nice thing about the Dragon Quest and probably the Final Fantasy mobile port is that since they're not action-heavy games, the lack of buttons doesn't cause nearly as much issue. Okay, what's this doing? Do I have to get hit? Yes. Invincibility duration is 4 times. Cool. Jupiter and Cockatrice turns me to stone. I'm clearly not that invulnerable. Jupiter and Manticore gives me horrendous body odor. What's this one doing? Oh. Okay. Send flying with damage, but take half damage. Unicorn just gives me a bubble shield. Could see that being extremely useful. And a black dog. Okay, drains HP, but black hole barrier. Neat. Mars, unsurprisingly, provides violence. Okay, the Ice Sword is legitimately a very useful attack. It can freeze, and it's fast. This one has a nice area. That's incredibly slow. I'm sure that it hits hard though. And apparently it causes earthquakes. Cockatrice turns enemies into stone. Poison claws. That's short range. Okay, don't see the utility of that one. Ah, that's what it is. Ooh. Okay. I'm starting to see the utility of that one. Thunderbird gives us Street Fighter combos, which aren't actually Street Fighter combos because it's just pressing the button over and over again. I'm out of MP. I should probably go up and save again. Or at least heal. Nah, yeah, I'm gonna save. The more of these we can figure out early, the better we will know our toolset. That's entertaining. That's just a gun. Okay. Okay. Looks like Diana is gonna give us projectiles on our attacks. Ooh, that's fun. Some of these have a ridiculous mana cost, though. Nice, an antidote. Nice, we're poisoned. I should really use one of these antidotes. This one clearly costs a lot. Okay, I see why. Yeah, 128 per. Okay, that releases a homing projectile. Which is rad. Ooh, and it lingers. Okay, I see why that one costs so much. And that's an AoE attack around us. Ooh. Ooh, the Apollo ones might be... Let's see. No, it's not... Manticore is the poison one. Accurate? Yeah, Manticore's the poison one. But... Anyway, we're not going to be able to test some of these right now. Because some of them... Some of them require being hit by particular types of damage. Ooh. Saturn ones are familiars. That's a lot of damage. Or at least it's a lot of... speed. Alright, buddy. Fight the demon. Oh no. Okay. Right. Holy sword. Gun. Diana's the projectiles. Let's just run through stuff while we're here, so I stop getting myself killed, and can go ahead and get these all registered. Plus, I can just refill my MP in here. Right. Fortunately, even though these are attacks, you just need to be able to see the effect for them to take effect. I think, just to be safe, I'm gonna look them up. Mars, Diana. Yeah, that's why. So the Apollo ones require... The Apollo ones are the ones that require fighting game combos. Or inputs. Okay, yeah, that one's fun. I would not call those stalactites. That's just meteors. Sorry, comets. Oh, I've been at this for almost an hour, and I haven't left the starting area. That one's fun. That one's zappy. That's... arrows, okay. And that's just a black hole. Understandable. Okay, we have to leave to be able to save again. The Neptune ones we won't be able to... test right now. So we'll move on to Saturn. Bat. Ghost. Owl. Hawk, by the looks of it. Medusa head. Cloud of poison. Sorry, gassed. It doesn't make nearly as many horrible screeching noises. Wind sprite. A thunderbird. A crow. An angel. A cherub. My mistake. And a devil. An imp. Uranus. Okay, there's gonna be flashing lights for these. Summon Salamander. Summon whatever the heck. Serpent. Summon Mandragora. Summon Golem. Heal. Summon Cockatrice. Pretty much all of these are screen-wide attacks of whatever element. They're extremely powerful, but extremely draining on MP. That's fun. I am single-handedly increasing the bitrate of this video. Or challenging the bitrate of this video. Summon Unicorn. That heals us. That's nice. Not by a huge amount, but I bet that that will increase later on. Summon Black Dog. I don't know what he does. Probably attack. Finally, Pluto. That unlocks item crashes. So for dagger, that's just a lot of daggers. That doubles sub-weapons. Looks like this increases experience gain. Yep. There's that activated. Interesting. Projects an image of yourself. Defense increases based on game time. Okay, that makes sub-weapons use MP rather than hearts. Walk and dash speed increased. What does this do? Inflicted damage is increased. I am invulnerable but cannot harm enemies. I am a skeleton. I think this one might actually make me have 1 health. Okay, get that poison damage registered. Let's heal up. And I want to see... Is this ice damage or fire damage? It is not ice damage. It is fire damage. Okay, so now we've got all of the DSS abilities marked, except for the ones that we have to take damage for. I think for right now I'm just going to keep the Griffin active. But let's save so we don't have to do that again. And then we can finally play the friggin' game. Imagine that, huh? Yeah, we're zooming with this ability. Ooh. That's finally something we can equip. Increases our int. That's a rare drop, but I believe it's a rare drop from a lot of enemies around here. Not the right button. There we go. Okay, we couldn't get over in that upper right section. We couldn't jump high enough to get through the left section. So let's see if we can do anything here. If you are an Earth Elemental... Let's... Summon Unicorn, get some healing. A lot of enemies have elemental weaknesses. The weakness of Earth does not seem to be wind. No shoot. Do we have enough for... Now we do. Is that gonna be enough? I don't think that's gonna be enough. We also might have caused it to despawn, which means they would get back to us with full health. So we're just gonna leave the Earth Demon alone. We're too squishy for that. Okay, let's actually... I kind of like Mars and Serpent. There's a door we can get to. Down... Oh, there are multiple doors. We can't do anything with that one, though. Hooray! Actually, I guess it would be... Notably, the experience point gain while walking only applies while walking. It does not apply if you're running. So I feel like the 20% boost to experience is probably a better option than experience while walking, because I want to move quickly. But especially for these low-cost passive ones, we're still regaining MP while we have this active. Ooh, cotton clothes. They're probably not very good, but we don't have anything. That's actually a surprising amount of defense for that kind of item. Is it this game that there aren't... Oh, hello, Earth Demon. Ooh, not at a point where we just die. No. I didn't expect that to be able to go through the tunnel. Earth demons are scary. Which I guess makes sense, but like, come on now. I still have that magic going, right? No. No. Oh. Oh well. So I started to kind of get at this before, but never finished the statement because I'm easily distracted. The Game Boy Advance games were kind of in mid-renaissance for the Castlevania franchise. Should really stop trying to fight those. They have killed me every single time. Ooh. Wristband. Solidly falls into the better than nothing category. Can't do anything here. Fight more bats. Okay, with the wristband, we actually do 2 damage more to skeletons. So it's a non-negligible increase in attack power. As you can probably tell, the zombies just spawn indefinitely. Ugh. I should heal. It says a unicorn will be summoned to attack, but the unicorn does not do any damage. We recover MP so quickly, though, that there's really no reason not to use those. Rude. Am I poisoned? I'm poisoned. At some point, I gotta stop getting poisoned by stuff. At least the poison worms are more than happy to drop antidotes. I'll admit it would be nice to be able to save particular loadouts and swap between them on the fly. Okay, that increases our max hearts. And that's all we can do here. Hey, friend. No. You're a skeleton with a spear. That is your defining character trait. Anyway, the Castlevania franchise renaissance. Symphony of the Night drastically reshaped how the franchise was going to look. It took an exploration-based style very similar to the Metroid franchise, but on a non-Nintendo console, and ooh. And it made the Brain, please. Similar to the Metroid franchise on a non-Nintendo console, and quickly became extremely popular. Symphony of the Night is what a lot of people think of when they think of the Castlevania franchise. And that style of gameplay, Symphony of the Night put the Vania in what would become the Metroidvania genre. Though I don't tend to like that name very much. I prefer to use exploration-based platformer or something of the sort. Anyway, Circle of the Moon was the first, I want to say the first 2D game after Symphony of the Night. And they kind of tried to strike a medium with this one. So the Symphony of the Night's controls were a lot floatier. They feel a lot more controllable movement-wise, a lot less committed to any particular movement compared to the classic Castlevania games. And even at the start of the game, Alucard has a lot of movement options. He's fairly quick, and fairly free jumping, for instance. Where, if you watched any of April's event, you know that the classic Castlevania games, you really commit when you make a move. Ah! That's fine. I didn't need to be in this room anyway. Rude. Is that earth elemental damage? Can I? Yes. The other question is, does this qualify as dark elemental damage? Signs point to no. Does it qualify as any elemental damage? What could it be? That would be ice. Okay, I kind of doubt that it's gonna. Anyway, relative to the other games that follow in Symphony of the Night's footsteps, Circle of the Moon has a lot more emphasis on platforming and the more deliberate movement style of the earlier Castlevania games. Which is part of why it ends up being a generally more challenging game. Magician mode is probably going to make it easier overall. And that's kind of intentional, because I want to make sure that we get through this game in a reasonable amount of time, because I'm playing 2 more of them this weekend. And this one I plan to finish by the end of the day. Let's get off the ground and summon a unicorn. Let's do that again, actually. Okay. Back to the experience boost. It did, as we'll kind of see this weekend, it take a while for Castlevania games after Symphony to reach their stride. A lot of people, myself included, tend towards the opinion that Aria of Sorrow is the best of the 3 Game Boy Advance games. Which is good, because it was the last one. You'd expect that they would continue to get better. But I'm really looking forward to playing that one and showing why I love it so much. Ah, gremlins. Good. I know what it feels like. What's over here? Heart max up. For anyone without a reference point on Symphony of the Night or Metroid, these games are defined by a focus on exploration and gaining new abilities, which generally enable further exploration. Now, we've got a little bit of a boon for exploration in the abilities we have, just from starting with the Magician save file. Because we can just stand on enemies that have been turned to stone. Like I said before, it's a very situational bonus. It relies on being able to get an enemy into the right spot and turn them to stone and make use of that before they get better. Also, this glowy blue door is definitely a boss fight, so, you know, healing up. The increased experience isn't going to be useful, so let's go over to Mars and I think we'll go with the Rose Sword. We've got Anger Doggo. Anger Doggo. Anger... Oh, you've got lasers. Laser Doggo. Cerberus here switches between two different phases when he howls. Red phase is clearly laser phase. This could be a problem. Okay, if we're up here, these can't hit us. Let's get some more healing in. For the record, the unicorn and black dog effects tend to be extremely powerful because in normal gameplay, you can only get them in an optional, extremely difficult arena mode. That was a lot of damage. Well, not an arena mode, but an arena area. So, I've never actually gotten these. Because they're rare drops from enemies in the last section of that arena. And I decided when I played through this game that I didn't care. I was ready to be done. Hello. Ah. Can you move? Thanks. Make some good use of that unicorn summon invincibility. A normal phrase that everyone uses in their day-to-day lives. That's gonna zap us. Okay. Do you have 3 different phases? I guess that would make sense, because Cerberus is a 3-headed dog. Okay. So you've got a zappy phase, a laser phase, and a tackle phase. Hey, what? We didn't get to a safe spot. Okay. The good news is, now we know what we're dealing with. There is a rewind function in the Advanced Collection. I will probably use it later. Because the final boss in particular just sucks to fight. But... right. I want to beat Cerberus before I go that way. What's this way? Hoppers. Bigger, and there's more of them. Well, not really bigger. They're still pretty small. Ooh, max MP increase. That could be useful. Okay. Get that unicorn healing. Drink some coffee. Do it again. You know, the item crash might actually be useful. Can we take damage? Are we invincible? Yes. Okay, this is silly. It does look like the item crash uses hearts, though. And we do not have enough of them. Okay, avoid the laser. Throw knives. Oh dear. Use that unicorn invincibility to avoid paying the consequences of my actions. That's gonna... not a good spot to be. Okay, you're in zappy mode. Heh. Ooh, you jump high. Hello. I would say this fight's going better, though. I mean, yes, I'm healing now, but... laser, laser, laser. This isn't a good spot to be. That wasn't a good spot to be. You know how I said this one's harder than the other ones? Yeah, it is. Not that I'm giving any frame of reference, since this is the first one we're playing. Okay. Nothing up here, but I want the map completion. Which I'm going to have to stop myself from doing. Because we're not doing that arena section, for one. So, we aren't going to get map completion. At the same time, you never know what secrets could be hiding just outside of the area you've explored. That's how these games work. Okay, get back here. Get back here. Come on, there we go. I do have those equipped, right? Yes. Pre-boss unicorn time. It's not exactly speedy, spamming the unicorn, but it's substantially faster than hello, please move. You didn't move. So it's going great. Okay, we're never going to get through this boss fight if I don't start dealing a significant amount of damage. We pretty much got its patterns figured out. It has 3 phases, and for each phase it has effectively 1 attack. Duh. Okay, I'd forgotten about the heart max up. And that could be useful for getting more item crashes. Also, I know that the menu says item crush, but the ability is called item crash in every other Castlevania game. Game Boy games are kind of notorious, or Game Boy Advance games especially, are kind of notorious for being in a weird gray area with translation. There are a lot of Game Boy Advance games with kind of stilted translations overall, because it's certainly better than NES era, but game translation wasn't... Okay, look. It wasn't as big of a focus as it is at this point. One more. Just top us off. Is this gonna be out of range of the Zappy? Yes. Hehehehe. Oh, we need to move. We need to move! Okay. It's unicorn time, my friends. Please go blue. Okay, good. It's very easy to be completely out of the range of the electricity phase. I can use that attack to get the thing. Well, I can't use that one. What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? Uh-oh. 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 No! I should have just used the unicorn again. I should have used the unicorn. Okay. In the interest of getting anywhere, I think I'm going to start using rewind. Ooh, leather armor. That'll increase our defense a little bit. I'm gonna go save that we got that. Because clearly it's not a super common drop, or I would have gotten it before. Just as a quick reminder, as much as I am enjoying... Really? As much as I am enjoying playing this, this is a fundraising stream for MU Healthcare's Children's Hospital through Extra Life. So, if you want to see me, well, have to exercise for one thing, but also, if you want to see me fold a bat, or just help us reach our goal, which, by the way, is $100 for today. I went ahead and set the goal for the whole weekend, just for clarity's sake, and so I don't have to keep resetting the goal every day. But the goal is to raise $100 each of the 3 days of this event. So if you're able to, there's a link in the description that you can use to donate, or just use the QR code that's on screen. And yeah, share the announcement, or share the stream. Anything you can do helps. And 100% of the donation goes to the hospital. So it's definitely a good cause. I mean, I wouldn't be streaming in support of it if it wasn't. I wonder what damage type the laser is. If I can figure that out, it would make it a very good candidate for... Hey. It would be a very good candidate for the... card effect. Speaking of, switch over to Neptune and Thunderbird. Interesting that we still take knockback from that. Okay, I think that's fire damage based on the after effect. Though we really can't afford to take another hit at the moment. Hello. Hehe. Oh, right. I don't have the hearts for that. Okay, you're going gray again. Come on. Come on. Blue. Blue, 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 blue. Okay, time to test that theory. Cool. Ow. Okay, you're gray, which means none of that's gonna work anyway. So... I'm surprised that worked in our favor. Let's use the Holy Sword. You can't hit me from here. Try me. Okay, we didn't have enough MP to totally tank that attack. I believe you only do... Yeah, you only do one charge before you... There we go! It's almost like actually using our resources is a good thing. Wild! Oh yeah, there's... No, there's not. Okay. That is a fair assessment of the phrase Neptune Unicorn. And now we can double jump. We have gained a mobility tool. Okay. It involves a lot of menuing, but hopefully... Now that we're learning to better use the tools at our disposal, things will start to go faster from here. Ooh. I am going to take my break now that we've finished this first boss fight. And it's approaching noon, which is when that event that I'm planning on going to starts. So, I'm gonna pause here, end the stream for now, and we'll be back in probably the next hour or two, and we'll keep going and hopefully, again, make a lot faster progress now that I've taken care of identifying the dual setup cards and figuring out how to make good use of them. So, thank you for tuning in so far. We'll be back with this in a little while. See you soon.